Morant is literally posterizing on every single athlete in the NBA right now. And in this video, I'm going to break down his training to you so you can take something from it and improve your own vertical jump. Let's get straight to it. For this first exercise, this is to get like more accommodating resistance on the lunge, so get more length on the groin and the lateral glute. It's really good for your health and also for change of direction. Obviously, Morant's really explosive when he's going left to right, crossover, stuff like that. So this is kind of like that foundational strength that you need. That way you can actually handle those forces and not break down your body when you're doing change of direction work. Seems light, but it could be really good for warm up. Right here, we're just doing lateral skips. This is to kind of work the lateral chain. It's really important for the ankle and for plyometric contact to do lateral work, especially for the lower limbs. So real good work right there. Then we're just doing treadmill. Obviously, it's just lower rep stuff. Some eccentric trap bars. I think he goes into the trap bar work later, so I'll break that down a little bit more later. He's probably just going through here. Split stands, med ball pushes, really good for developing that upper body strength. Pull-ups are great for all basketball players, probably the most important thing for all basketball players. It seems like he's getting a lot of like knee and ankle injuries. Not the trainer's fault. That's what basketball is. You're going to get a lot of crazy injuries, and that's just kind of like the game. You can actually improve in the research, reducing ankle injuries with proprioception. So in the research, it shows proprioception reducing ankle injuries by I think 20 or 30%, which is a crazy, crazy amount. Our Christmas sale is live. All of the codes will either be right here or in the description or in the pinned comment. You can transform your sprint speed with the Speed Academy or just sprint body weight, your vertical jump with just jump, or reduce pain with just protect. Hop on the Christmas sale. It will end January 1st. Right here, this is a max effort jump. I know this might not be a part of the training like he might be saying, but this type of stuff, doing it on the side, is actually what really is like the meat and potatoes of your vertical jump. Practicing the dunk, practicing the skill, getting like that high neural load to your central nervous system is really important for jumping higher. So doing that on the side after a basketball game, or just even if you can't dunk, try and touch the backboard, touch the bottom of the net. That type of stuff is really, really key for improving your stuff. This is a dynamic warm-up right here. Doing some hamstring work and some shoulder work. We can actually kind of slow down so you can actually see what they're doing here. This is just to get fast hamstring forces, because when you're sprinting, you're going to use your hamstring a lot. That's the first thing to get injured for most people who are sprinting, even if it's 5 steps like a basketball player, like that first quick step. If the hamstring can't prepare those forces, it will tear. That's just the truth of it. So that's a good little warm-up for it. Then I think he was also doing some hip flexors when he was bringing his toe up. This one is for shoulder external rotation and internal rotation. A lot of basketball players get shoulder tendonitis in the tendon on the shoulder, and that's just from a lot of shooting, a lot of reps, and not a lot of basketball players will like lift. They won't lift their shoulders because that usually is what messing up their jump shot for some people. So if they're not going to lift very heavily and upper body, then they're going to do stuff like this so they can keep the shoulder healthy and the joint fluid. That way they can actually get some good mobility and not get tendonitis when they shoot. This is just some hip glutes. This is a good warm-up. So single leg hip thrust, just to activate the glute, get it firing. Co-contractions is why he's kind of doing like that bounce at the bottom. I don't know if you noticed. He's doing a little bounce at the bottom right here. Co-contraction, so learning how to turn on the glute, turn off the glute is really important for being very, very fast and very explosive. It's not about how much weight can you just lift and, where your muscles are turned on the entire time. You want to be able to turn off the muscles at the right timing so you can actually be very, very explosive. That's why a lot of like skinnier athletes are super explosive. You're like, why? It's because they can time the muscles to reflex, turn on, turn off really fast. It's not, I can just lift 500 pounds and my muscles are turned on the entire time. That's not just going to make you fast or jump high. So right here is just some hip external rotation work, pretty standard. Once again, this is like that banded resisted lunge. He's doing a Peterson lunge now, so he's working more of the glute and the quad here. Just really athletic positions, gain some accommodating resistance, really good for a dynamic warm-up. But for some people, it could be like a whole workout in itself. Oh, right here, oh my God. It's going to be fast. You're going to see me pausing a lot. You're just going to have to deal with it. I'm breaking down everything for you. So right here, he's on an instability. With most athletes, and I've seen from a lot of other NBA trainers, will do it on an actual flat ground instead of an instability little box. But pretty much what he's doing is he's tossing the tennis ball back and forth. This is proprioception, so he's trying to control his body in space and also catching, so improving like hand-eye coordination, but really good for proprioception. What proprioception said, like I said earlier, was It really improves your ability to reduce ankle injuries because of your awareness in the body. So, and the research just shows that. So, this type of stuff you should be doing every single day. It's also just good for hand-eye coordination. It's gonna make you a better athlete, better mover. You know what I'm saying? Better human. Lateral lunges, basic skips. We've seen all this before. This is just a collage of the warm-up. Basic Frankensteins, nothing crazy. Just kind of getting the athlete to move. This right here is really cool. So he's jumping into instability and then jumping off onto regular ground. So when you play basketball, you're going to jump a lot and you're going to land in very bad positions. And your ankle's going to twist, turn. Not every time your ankle should just snap, right? Your ankle's going to twist and turn. And the only way to reduce injuries in that portion is by jumping on. Here, we can hop back real quick. Is by jumping on and landing into those forces and letting your ankle feel regular lands and then unstable lands. And then regular lands and unstable lands. You got to expose the plyometric contact of the ankle to that. So you have to expose it to different things. Right here is a split stance, a row. It's a different type of row, but this is for core anti-rotation and core rotational power. So when you're doing crossovers and you're changing directions, you need the core to be able to rotate laterally and rotate side to side. So laterally like this and side to side like this, right? So if you're going to do a crossover, you got to be able to do all those things. So you got to gain strength in that. So one, you don't get strains, but also you can transmit force laterally, explosively too. So you can really be fast in those positions. A lot of people who miss this core section might be very, very fast and explosive, in a straight line, but they can't go side to side because their core is not transmitting force side to side. That's like the most basic way to explain it. Then also he's in a split stance, which is very athletic. This is the oscillation reflex squat. So he's bouncing out the bottom. This is teaching the tendon how to hit the bottom and bounce back up. It's really good for athletes who are like very strong but not athletic. He's using a lot of weight. He's bouncing out, turning off certain muscles and then turning on other muscles to bounce back up and utilize the stretch shortening cycle faster. This is very foundational for a lot of athletes. Weird random noise. Very foundational for a lot of athletes to know how to do this, even if it's body weight. You don't need a lot of weight for this type of stuff. Now he's going onto the treadmill, and then here's a regular press. A lot of people do barbell presses, so right here. What this does is it's going to flare the front of the shoulder. For basketball players, we do not want the front of the shoulder ever turned on because you're going to shoot, and guess what? The front of the shoulder is your prime mover. So you're going to do stuff like this, where it's these type of presses where instead of the grips like here, you're right here, and this is just much healthier for the shoulder and for basketball athletes to prevent them to get shoulder injuries or shoulder pain. Here we go. Hold up. All right, so we're just back again to the horizontal pushes. Every athlete needs some type of mass. This is an isometric hold. A lot of hoopers especially are going to hate these because it's going to burn. It's going to burn the front of the kneecap and in the quad, but isometrics are really good for the health of the tendon and developing like the hardware of your knee pain. So if you can cure the tendon and make the tendon stronger, then you can handle more basketball, which will make you a better player, but also less susceptible to injuries. So heavy isometric holds, 45 seconds to 3 minutes is a straight staple in every single program. It should always be there. And then now he's doing axial reps. So he's going down, up, down, up, down, up, stuff like that. Just like we showed before, he's going to go up and down. He's probably going to go laterally too. And then this is just lateral side. This is like a good foundational work to work the lateral glute and work a plyometric contact laterally, which will help you develop lateral explosiveness. So you could even do, if you don't have some type of slider machine like this, you could just do regular lateral bounds, lunge bounds, side to side, jumping as far as possible with a med ball, without med ball. Whatever you got, just be fast about it. Make the velocity fast. This is just massaging work. I'm not like a therapist or anything like that, but this is just good for, foam, kind of like foam roll. Foam rolling is not bad. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it will give you some good, feeling better and stuff like that, helping establish length in the research. Right here, I don't know if you noticed this. This is really good for a lot of hoopers right here. So he's doing, can I get it back to it? This right here, he's holding above head. He's probably in a split stance or a squatted stance. He's holding the med ball above head and he's tapping different directions. So this is going to fire the core in multiple intrinsic muscles within the core. So when all the intrinsic muscles within the core are actually learning how to turn on, you're not just doing crunches and planks where you're not actually challenging the core at all. You're just making it flare. You're making it kind of turn on, turn off, rotate a little bit, anti-rotate, try to control that stable position. You're going to be much more athletic, way, way, way more athletic. You can decelerate, change directions, brace in the core, take contact, dunk over someone because you can actually handle the contact in the stomach. You're not gonna, fall over. These are how hoopers are strong, even if they're not big. You know what I'm saying? Not big for a sense. Right here is a unilateral step up into a chest press. This is a good full body movement to develop horizontal power. You know what I'm saying? John Morant's really, really strong. So you can see him, he's just doing like a explosive press into a step up, timing how to press and, extend at the hip at the same time. Very advanced stuff, but most athletes, don't even need to know about that. Now we're getting to trap bar deadlifts. Holy shit, we're going through a lot right here. Trap bar deadlifts, the best lift for any tall hooper. If you're a tall hooper and you this is all too much, I'm explaining way too much, trap bar deadlifts. Okay, you need to be doing trap bar deadlifts. That's a huge thing you want to get strong in. You also want to go for velocity. You can do compound resistance, regular, chains, bands, whatever you want to do. Trap bar deadlifts is a good lift to get 1.75, 2 times your body weight in weight, and try to get as strong as possible in. This right here is a split lunge. He's doing a safety bar. Most people won't have this, really expensive. Safety bar is just healthier for your back, your upper back, and you get better range of motion in certain angles with a safety bar. Squat, it's just a split squat. Right here is chin-ups. It's good for the biceps, good for the back, good for being very body weight strong. Basketball is a game of being how body weight strong can you get. It's not how much can I lift in a barbell bench press. It's how body weight strong can you get. Can you do a lot of push-ups? Can you do a lot of pull-ups? Can you do a lot of dips? All those type of things. Can you do can you do dumbbell split stances? Can you do dumbbell presses? That's the game of basketball if you want to be strong in basketball. So yeah, it's cool. They're all having fun. That's also another important part. You gotta have fun in training. Can't always be boring. The deadlift, like we said, really good to do trap bar. If you don't have trap bar, do regular barbell. He's doing slow eccentrics at the bottom, so he's splitting up as fast as possible and then doing 3 to 5 seconds. That's really good for the tendon, good for building more muscle. The more muscle you build in the quad, the less knee pain you'll usually have. That shows in the research, so it's really good for you. Yeah, very slow eccentrics, about 5 seconds, and just make sure you're maintaining posture too. It's not always just about the knee pain. It's also about body awareness, good mechanics, timing with the limbs, all that stuff. Now we're doing horizontal pull. Chin-ups. He's going a little fast, bouncing at the bottom. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but you could get a little shorter, flare from doing stuff like that. But it's all good at the end of the day. He's obviously really strong. He shows on the court and in the body in the session, in the weight session. So that's really good. Horizontal push. He had a horizontal push, horizontal pull. He had a vertical push, vertical push, vertical pull. So yeah, it's just your basic vertical push, vertical pull, horizontal push, horizontal pull. Now we're going to go and apply metrics. These are low-level contacts, good for developing the ankle structure, going backwards, laterally, side to side, front. All this is going to develop the ankle structure, very low-level stuff because you're already going to get a lot of medium to high-level stuff in basketball. Most of the time you're going to get low-level stuff in basketball because everyone's fatigued. They're not doing anything super high level right now, but he's also in season, so it just depends on the coach. Usually I would have, people like John Morant do a couple of depth jumps, max effort jumps, but he's probably getting that in the court because he likes to jump a lot, likes to dunk a lot. We've seen a lot of these exercises already. Pretty cool. It's good work. This is great work. Obviously, it is because he's obviously an NBA trainer, knows what he's doing. I'm not telling him he's doing anything wrong. I love everything that's going on here. John Morant's a great athlete as well. This is good stuff. This is obviously the top work you can get for any type of athlete. Say you would enjoy transforming your vertical jump in 4 months. So check that out in the link below. If you like these videos, want me to do more videos like these, click this right here and watch this next video because you probably need to be watching it right now.